through our program is the Francis Perkins Award. So at this time, I would like to invite our own Senator Packwick to come forward. And Francis Perkins, if you could come on the stage.
Brothers and sisters, for those of you who don't know me, my name is State Senator John Patrick, and I am a Labor Democrat. I am so honored today to be here to honor my friend. This man works tirelessly for working men and women to make lives better. I have met many people over my legislative career. I'm in my 6th term, my 11th year. And I have met some great people. A lot of you are already in this room. Some were Senate presidents, some were chairs of Labor, Senate chairs, House chairs, Labor members. As a 59-year-old man, I can say I don't think I've ever met a greater man that I've been more proud of than Senator Troy Jackson. Maine workers can find no stronger ally than Senator Troy Jackson. Although he's never held a union card, his heart, his mind, his body, his soul runs with solidarity, and he wakes up every morning with resolve to fight for working class men and women. In the 125th Maine legislature, when the Republicans went after state workers and teachers' pensions, went to gut workers' comp, went after the most vulnerable people, there was one person standing there fighting strong, and that was Senator Troy Jackson. Troy, Paul Gilbert, and the members of the Labor Committee went through hell the last 2 years, and I vowed as Labor Chair that I was going to make sure I wouldn't make the same mistakes that were done to the working men and women in the state of Maine, and I hope I can just follow through in his footsteps. The one thing I'll say is I know this man. I've known him since the 121st Maine legislature. I knew I had a friend for life when I met him the first, I think it was one of the first days in the Labor Committee. We got into a little altercation, and I kind of made a crack at some lobbyists who came to the testify, and I kind of says under my breath, "This is that dirtbag." And the Troy said, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that." I must have been using my outside voice because I thought I was using my inside voice. But we become friends, colleagues, actually roommates. It's almost like a two-part team. Francis Perkins came from humble beginnings. Well, Troy Jackson did too. I visited his home. It's 336 miles from my house. 6 hours. I got treated with the utmost respect and dignity from him, his family, his extended family, and the people in Allagash. This man understands what it is to suffer in life and to see the struggles. In one of his speeches he gives, talks about his friend having a heart attack. He understands what we suffer and what we go through. And for him to be nominated for this award is just proof positive that if you dedicate your life for working men and women, even if you have not been a union member yourself, and Ron Hemingway, Local 900 president, said it at the first annual Workers' Memorial Day in Rumford. It's just amazing how someone who's never been a union member can actually fight harder than probably most union members understand in what to fight for himself. So it is with my great pleasure and honor to recognize a true labor hero in the state of Maine, my friend, Senator Troy Jackson.
I don't know how you can go behind John Patrick on anything. I want to thank everyone, brothers and sisters, for having me here tonight. I want to thank the people that put the play on before. You did a great job, and quite honestly, I sat there with the possibility of tears running down my eyes sometimes. It really was inspiring, and I really appreciate that. That was a nice touch for this event. I also wanted to say that when Don called me, Don Barry, 8 or 10 days ago to tell me that I got the award, we had just had a conference call about the unemployment system, about the unemployment compensation hearing officers, and I felt quite frustrated that, I didn't think I was doing enough. I didn't like the way things are going. I still don't. But Don assured me that if I came here tonight, that he'd have the governor give me the award tonight. So I'm
couldn't do it today.
Well, I'm a little disappointed. But no, really honestly, thank you very much. You never know what life's going to do for you, or the things that'll happen. But I've had the great honor of getting a couple of awards that meant a real lot to me. I really don't like to talk about myself much. I don't think I'm a selfish man. But when you get an award for something like labor issues, those are the things that mean a lot to me. And I do have some pride. I don't show them off, but they are all on the wall of my house, and they're important to me. But when you get one named after Frances Perkins, that really says a lot. That's someone that I can't really imagine, what she must have went through. 1920, women's long suffered right to gain voting ability, something that was long overdue, and then just 9 years later, her becoming labor, being in the state labor department in New York City. I'd say that's quite an accomplishment for a woman of that time. Long, like I said, long overdue. I believe in '33, becoming the first Secretary of Labor for the whole United States. That really says something that I'll never be able to ever even possibly glimpse, what a great accomplishment that she had there. And, working on minimum wage, worker safety, right to organize, Social Security, the New Deal. All those things are just unbelievable things that happened in the history of the United States. And I, someone that recognizes the importance of history, that's just, she's on a planet that I'll never get to. But I think about, what, maybe inspired someone like that to put herself out there day after day. And I'm sure, just like the play that we've seen here tonight, those Triangle Short Waste Factory deaths, watching that, seeing that happen unfold, that must have been horrible. I can think of, in my occupation, years ago when I was younger, it was not certainly an everyday thing or anything like that, but too often you'd hear someone that died in the woods. I know one woman that had two husbands killed in the woods. You know, that doesn't happen as much anymore, but it still happens too often. And I would imagine that something like that was probably what touched her and give her the drive to make her way in this movement that certainly for her and many are sometimes very hard and quite a struggle. For me, certainly not the same at all, but one of the things that I can remember, probably the first issue that I remember is as a 7th grade, 11-year-old being taken to a strike in the woods with my father. And I can remember not understanding it at all, but there was like 100 men waiting for one of the landowners to show up and talk about the issues that were affecting them. And when they were there all by themselves, there was, you know, I'm sure some nervousness, but there was a lot of joking around, and it seemed like a festive type of thing for an 11-year-old. But when the landowner showed up, jumped out of the car, and the first thing he told them was that they either went back to work for what he was paying them, or he replaced them all. I can remember a gentleman from Allagash going toe-to-toe with that landowner, and it got quite heated, and I can remember kind of stepping behind my father, because it was, you know, nervous, scary for an 11-year-old. And I think even at that time, I thought there, you know, something in me said, I don't like that feeling. And years later, you know, I joined my father and other men in the Allagash area in the woods. And pretty much the same thing, you know, as they say, history repeats itself. Well, it certainly repeated itself for me and others in that occupation. And I can remember 98 getting a call from one of my townspeople that's since become a close friend of mine, telling me, asking me if I was going to go with them to the border on Monday morning to protest, you know, the low wages, the depressed wages that was being offered to people in the logging industry. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and remember thinking to myself, well, you know, this is probably going to be it, but, you know, I'm really not making it anyway, so it's better to at least give it a try than to continue to struggle. And quite honestly, since then, you know, we did that. We made a stand. I don't know if we're better off for it today, but I know that unfortunately, you know, I've lost opportunities since then. I certainly know that I can't get jobs that I probably could have if I hadn't done that, and I feel bad, and I feel bad for my family, and I feel bad for my wife and my kids because of that. You know, she's had to work harder. We've probably not got everything that we probably could have, but I think, you know, for the most part, because of her hard work, we've done well. But I got to say that the feeling that gives you to stand up for people is a feeling that is unbelievable. That I'd like to have it happen to me every day. And I know that, you know, I don't know what else is going to happen here in the state, but I don't want my heart to feel like I haven't given everything I can for people that are depressed, people that can't stand up for themselves. People are being wronged. And I know that, as this is my good friend and roommate and bowling partner, Senator Patrick said, you know, last session was unbelievably horrible. The only thing that's come good of the last session is it seems to have inspired a lot of people to step up, which is, you know, one good benefit. And as much as, you know, my heart hurt last session, and it really did. I don't know that it is better this session, but I still feel that, you know, we're nowhere near there. There's still so much work to be done, and so many people to be spoken for, and so many things that are going on that's unfair that it's hard to to not wanna, I seen the bagpipes come in and the people with the kilts and the Scottish, and I keep thinking of that line from Braveheart, you know, I wanna be like William Wallace and yell, "Freedom!" Because the guy that is there right now is no friend to working men and women in the state, and it's too bad. It's unfortunate that we can't work with them, but I just want to tell you, you know, that it is a huge thing, something that I'll always treasure to get this award tonight. There's so many out there that I know that have become friends only because I've had the great opportunity to be in the state legislature, and you know, I won't never forget that. You know, we have a lot of people that give lip service in the legislature, and it's something that we got to make sure that people are held accountable, because I think it's time that Maine workers in the state become a focal point and quit being a talking point. And I just want to thank you for everything that you've done, because without the things that people like you in this room do, I wouldn't be able to express myself the way that I do. So this award is as much for me as it is for everyone in this room, and thank you for everything. I really appreciate it.